Flail is a brutal medieval weapon. When properly used, it's gonna crush your skull and bones and, well, rip your flesh. Very fitting name for a metal band, to say the least. This one is from Finland, and it's a sort of a side project with a duo of sorts. Two guys from Ruho, another Finnish black metal band. This one features 4 tracks, 40 minutes. So overall, lengthy tracks doing kind of a lo-fi, kind of a primitive black metal, and kind of a peculiar ways. Because, to be honest, this is more synth dominated than guitar dominated, guitar driven metal, and definitely not everybody's cup of tea, me being one of them. But let's give this band a fair chance. I'll tune you in for a band's Metal Archive site when I tell you a little bit more about it. So, like I was saying, the band is kind of a side project of Ruho, which I will feature here. 2009 founded band with a couple of full-length album, few smaller releases, and having bigger lineup all in all. Their last year release, 2019 release, the Devo Thrum was actually, how to put it, less than mediocre release for so many reasons. Bad production, not too shabby songwriting, and all that. You will find more about that. Now, that makes this related to Flail now releasing its first album in 2020. I mean, it's been already out for quite some while. This band also features a couple of smaller releases and then this full-length album. And two guys are doing the music with this style, which is very similar to Ruho. Now, I am not sure why the band decided to go this kind of sidestep ways, because to be honest, this could have been the Devo Thrum Part 2. The music is once again very lo-fi, very primitive, and like said, it's very much like synth driven. This is partially because of how the band has decided to go with the production. That is, the drums are more or less dominating on the top, on the, sound-wise being more loud than the guitars or synths. And the guitars are actually more like resonating and more like humming on the background. It's not like they are clear riffs as such, which then again makes this band blur the lines between what is guitar music, metal usually is, as much as it's rock and roll, blues, jazz, whatever. Well, jazz can be a different thing. But what happens here is that because of the guitars are so much on the background and more like humming and resonating, and drums are then again dominating, it leaves the keyboards and vocals between these two extremities. And as such, I had a hard time, enjoying those riffs, because sometimes it feels like there are no riffs at all. It's just guitars kind of humming. They're buzzing, and they're just doing the kind of a background ambience rather than actual music. And that combined with the lengthy tracks here makes this album very, very hard for me to like anyway. To be honest, I find the outcome rather horrible rather than good or decent or whatever. Also, what bothers me with this production is that it seems like there has been a little bit of a flaw. I don't know if it's intentional or is it just something that happened along the way when this album was recorded, but it seems like some of these parts of the sound is like just cut. It's like as if the recording equipment wasn't suited for this kind of music, as if something was profoundly wrong when recording, because it seems like some of these percussion blasts, sound like it's just, they don't like, it's more like just cutting the off the edge, kind of a similar yet also different than what was going on early 2000s and late 90s with MP3 files, when it was all compressed too much and it created this kind of anomaly to the sound. And this sounds much like that. So instead of sounding clear and very dynamic, crisp and all, despite being raw and primitive. This sounds like something was not right. I can't think but having a poor recording equipment, maybe even kind of a cheaper end of smartphones instead of real recording setup. I might be totally wrong, and I hope that it's more like that, but it still doesn't remove the fact that it makes this album sound rather annoying. Now, people who are more into the noisy end of music, metal or otherwise, power electronics and all that stuff, might be enjoying this one because they are probably not bothered by this kind of a very, very low end recording and mixing and all. But for me, it's kind of annoying because I'd rather enjoy my ambient full of dynamics. Doesn't matter whether we're talking low frequencies or higher frequencies. If you can just handle the music, with the dynamics and you can record it properly, it's all good in my books. But in case you just happen to lose a lot of that music, some frequencies along the way, it starts to sound annoying. So this is a really, really tough cookie to crack. I'm gonna say this is not suited for most people. This is, in my books, quite a horrible release, but that is not to say there are not people who enjoy this. For example, I know people who might be totally into this kind of stuff. So what you need to do, obviously, is decide for yourself. I just can't recommend it and be honest at the same time. That's me about Flail and of Dying Embers to Coldening Coals. You give it a chance, and in case you like it, this physical version by Behest label is out there for you to grasp. So give it a go or give it not. That's up to you. Thanks for watching. Take care.